Turn our attention to Capitol Hill, a live look. The sun up in Washington, D.C. on day 37 of the federal government shutdown, and a warning from the FAA becoming reality. Starting tomorrow, thousands of flights across the country could be canceled if the shutdown continues. Now, the agency says it is reducing flight capacity by up to 10%. That would mean thousands of domestic flights across the country, 40 major airports with DFW and Love Field likely to be on that list. So the reason? Air traffic control shortages, all the result of them working without pay right now. Some airlines scrambling to adjust their schedules as a result. CNN reports that airlines got about an hour's notice about this plan before it was announced. Southwest says it is evaluating how this will affect their schedule, and American Airlines says they'll communicate any changes to their customers.
Joining us this morning with the pilot's perspective on the action, we are talking to Dennis Taylor, who's spokesperson for the Allied Pilots Association, the group that represents the pilots for American Airlines. Good morning, Dennis. What is your immediate reaction to the announcement?
Well, it's expected. We've seen rolling delays happening every day. We go online and look at where the staffing shortages are and where the FAA says they'll likely have delays. So now Secretary Duffy is taking advanced action and taking on where the cuts are going to come in a more broad sense. It's just all in the interest of, as he stated, and we stand with him. Our president was there with Secretary Duffy and Vice President Vance last week. His sole goal is to ensure that the safety margin is protected. So this is going to be an impact on flights and on passengers. But above all else, during this government shutdown, we've got to maintain the safety margin and, of course, the security side as well. So this is not completely unexpected. He's taken aggressive action to ensure that the traveling public is kept safe, and that's where we stand together as captain at American. We've got one goal, and that's to make sure that you're kept safe. But this government shutdown, we've already come out and we fully endorsed a clean CR, not to pick political sides, but it's the cleanest and clearest way, an immediate way to get this air traffic system back online so that we can serve our passengers.
Well, we have talked well before the shutdown, though, about a lack of enough air traffic controllers. Now you're talking about them being overworked because people are calling out sick. They're trying to find additional income, many of them. What are your concerns about how overworked these air traffic controllers may be?
Oh, you nailed it. They already come in with a weakened state because of the staffing and the underinvestment in technology. But even the administrator of the FAA said they're starting to get reports about air traffic controller fatigue. And it's a natural human event. It can happen on the pilot side as well. This external and forced impact on their lives outside of work, not getting paid. I mean, think about it. An air traffic controller pulling an Uber shift before he goes out there and tries to control aircrafts traveling at near the speed of sound. So Administrator Bedford from the FAA has said we're seeing that indication, the data coming in, and so they're making this adjustment to bring the system down. It's coming down to a single lane highway. There's no way you can have as many cars going down that and not have an impact, not only on reliability, but when you have these air traffic controllers working 6 days a week, 10-hour shifts. Before we came into this, and you bring in this human event, you're just asking for trouble. And we're going to keep trouble contained, but it's going to cause some disruption and adjustments as we go. And I'd like to add, at American and other airlines are the same. Pilots only have a certain amount of time during the day to fly for safety reasons, FAA regulations. When these delays happen and we're delayed an hour or two, many of us will time out. We're not legal to fly. So American staffs the airline with reserve pilots. Those pilots are there actually for Mother Nature's issues, not for a government issue. So we're already starting to nibble into the Thanksgiving turkey for those pilots that we expected to have available for the Thanksgiving travel week. So this is having an impact that's going beyond just today, and we're going to try to maintain and mitigate that going forward, just as Secretary Duffy is.
Well, we appreciate that insight and that added perspective. Thank you for being with us this morning.